Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about 6 skills needed for written comprehension. So first of all, I want to mention that in order to have written comprehension, we need to have reading comprehension. So the ability to read and understand text, being able to sound out words, having vocabulary, and being able to recognize those words on paper. Secondly, in order to have good written comprehension, we need to have good transcription. And transcription is the act of physically putting words onto paper or typing, spelling. A lot of times we can transcribe information by dictating, and basically it's taking those thoughts and making them ideas and then getting them down on paper. So that's the second important thing to have for written comprehension. Third, you're going to have sentence construction. So you have to have the student have the ability to make a complete sentence. And does it make sense? And is their grammar and their tense correct? So that's very important with written comprehension. Fourth is genre and content knowledge. So what genre are they working in? Different types of writing. Is it a persuasive writing? Is it an informative writing? Is it a narrative writing? And then also the content knowledge. What do they know? What are they writing about? Is it something they've experienced? Is it something that they've read about? Is it something that they have maybe seen a video about? So that's the content knowledge. Fifth is planning, revising, and editing. So in order to have good written comprehension skills, they need the ability to plan what they're going to write, revise what they're going to write, and edit what they're going to write. And this requires a lot of executive function skills. And some of the trainings I've done in the past include a lot of executive function information. So if you're interested in some of those, you can email me. And if you're part of our VIP program, some of those are free on my website. And if it's something that you're interested in finding out more about or getting some coaching on, then that's something that we can talk about as well. But with planning, revising, and editing, we need to sometimes use a graphic organizer. So that can help a student to organize their thoughts. And part of that is, do they have an opening sentence? Do they have a closing sentence? And do they have something in the middle? So there's these graphic organizers that look like a hamburger. So the bun is your closing and your opening and your closing, and then the meat is your main idea, your main topic, and then the toppings of the hamburger are your details about the topic. So that's something that is kind of fun. There's an Oreo graphic organizer, which is opinion, and then a reason and an example, and then another opinion, reason, and example. So lots of different graphic organizers, even just a plain spider organizer. So it's like a circle in the middle, and then little legs coming off from that with more circles and details. So graphic organizers can help students to get their content out. Finally, the sixth skill needed for written comprehension is the ability to self-regulate. So students might have trouble with regulating their anxiety about the writing. What are they writing about? For instance, spelling. So let me take a moment to kind of take a break here and talk about spelling. So I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm not necessarily teaching the student how to spell, but I am trying to help the student write legibly. So when it comes to spelling, what I like to do is write it out for the student and let them copy it. If they're having trouble with spelling, I will spell it for them verbally and let them copy that. And so what's important to me is that they're not using their cognitive brain function, how do I spell this word, but how do I write it legibly? And so giving a student time to come up with their ideas first and then copy it is a real good way to work on legibility. So for instance, have that student dictate the sentence into your phone, and then have them look at the phone, and they can copy what that sentence is. They can edit it right on the phone. They can delete something if it picked up the wrong word. But they can get their sentence correct first and then write it legibly. And so that's a real fun way to work on writing legibility and spelling, is let's give it to the student so they can copy it. So we're trying to reduce the cognitive load of what am I trying to write about? What is my next thought to put on paper? How do I spell that word? How do I form that letter? I need to make sure there's spacing and that the sizes are correct. And so all those thinking skills are interfering with what they're writing, their content, and their legibility. So remember, for this purpose, we are not working on spelling. I'm not working on necessarily the content of what they're writing so much as the legibility of the content.